Alright, Vim and I are back. So I got the 2 flight locations over here, and I flew back here because there were a couple things I encountered along the way there that I did not want to do off camera. I wanted to make sure I did them. Apparently the drown market is going to be a relevant area over here. I assume we're doing this, and then it's going to kind of help me go up here. But I came back over here without progressing because, well, let's... Thalyssra is here, but all she says is...
One day at a time.
So much lost in her quest for power. There are many lessons to be learned here. So apparently she doesn't have anything to say here, but she does later on when we get to the drowned market. However, as I progress this way towards the drowned market, I encountered someone that we have met. Collector Kojo! Come on, blasted thing. Ah, this one is on the fritz. I can't hear a thing. Stupid elven trinkets.
Ah, good, an adventurer. I have need of your services.
Hey there. Would you mind helping me out? You see, I found these pylons here, and it seems that they contain memories from a notable highborn who lived here long ago. I can't get any closer to the rest of them because of all the snapdragons, especially the terror maws. Can you go and activate the pylons for me? We Tortolans love old things, and this is a potential gold mine. Oh, and be sure to write down what you see.
I'm pretty sure this is the quest that's going to let me show you guys the Queen Ajara Warbringers animation.
I have a favor to ask of you, if you would be so kind. Scroll Sage Nola gave me this scroll to protect me on my adventures here in Najatar. She is a kind soul, but her scroll work is not always the most accurate. You look like a brave adventurer who's seen a thing or two.
Yes, I've seen quite a thing or two. I have seen stuff that will turn you white.
Could you test out the scroll for me? While you're out there, you may as well cull their numbers a tad.
Never underestimate the value or power of something more than 2 centuries old.
I can't wait to hear about your findings. Some ancient records I found elsewhere seem to point towards a wolf population here. I wonder what happened to them. No matter, they probably all drowned when the city went shell down.
I need to get closer.
Alright, let's kill some snapdragons. Hey, do we have any rogues nearby? Any rogues? You have your lockpicking leveled up? You need 600 lockpicking. You got that leveled? I'm sure there are some of you who used to play in vanilla that could probably get that joke.
It's too far.
Remember when not only lockpicking was a thing back in the days for rogues, but also the need for powder for certain kinds of abilities? Because you had to actually make your own powder. Because ammunition was a thing. I don't think I could have played a hunter either. From what I've heard about needing to actually carry ammunition and arrows. Otherwise you couldn't attack. That would have driven me absolutely bonkers. Look at the noticeable speed I have right now. You notice that? Look how much more faster I'm moving here in Najatar because of the armor I got. Ajara has requested that I formulate new creations. The wolves to the north may prove to be suitable hosts, although I worry about creations that we cannot control. That is a terror maw. Go get him, Vim. Come on, tank him for me.
Catching my breath.
Just go almost all out with this guy. I'm catching my breath. You got this. I don't know, this guy does hit pretty hard. One hit too many.
One hit too many.
I'm hoping this zone will be a little easier on some of my other characters, like my like be able to take it. Oh my gosh!
You have this one.
Oh my gosh! Oh, this doesn't work on me. It only works on allies. Ah! Here I can attack while healing as a ghost wolf.
Just need a second.
There we go. Oh my gosh! Ooh. Ooh, I don't mind having this guy around to help me. Let me mark where the okay, over there. We'll go ahead and clear some of these out first, you know, on the way. May as well, right?
Nice work, Sprog.
I should have mounted him first.
That was a good one. One hit too many.
Ow. Ow. Wow, this thing hits like a truck.
It's too far.
Oh my gosh. And dismount.
Hey, Sprog.
Just gonna have this guy kind of help be my guardian. Especially since I still have to kill one more of these things. And he's like, I'm gonna watch over this. Come on. Holy mackerel, holy mackerel. Ah!
But you have this one.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. I was nowhere near you.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
Students, round up as many of the local wolves as you can at once. Ajara's advisor will be visiting soon. Make haste or she will have our heads. I'm assuming these are the wolves that we are finding out about. Because, well, they certainly kind of look like them, don't they? Nice to meet you, General Huxar. Silence, mage. I am here for results, not pleasantries. Now, as I was told that you had created something called a snapdragon, Ajara had shown keen interest in this development. Show me at once. Of course. Right this way. Yeah, the snapdragons are the wolves. There is a buff right behind this guy. I think. Is that a buff?
I'm out of range.
Can't really tell.
Catching my breath. You got this.
Yeah, okay, this guy's enough. I'm just gonna get my elemental out. Be like, screw you!
Catching my breath. You got this.
There we go. That guy was starting to annoy me. Oh, while we're here, this is what I was talking about. So, we go across here into the Drowned Market. So, we see some images of some refugees here. And then I see Thalysra here.
Our isolation has ended.
City of Drowned Friends. Champion, I have a personal favor to ask of you. This is not on behalf of the Horde or the war effort. It has been over 10,000 years since I last walked these streets. That's right, I almost forgot. The Nightborn used to be part of the Night Elf Empire, and they used to be part of Queen Ajara's empire as well. She even talked about Queen Ajara in the intro cinematic to the Suramar Zone. So Thalysra actually used to be part of Ajara's empire and actually knows this place personally. So she has a personal stake in this investment in this place. I knew many of these people, even trained some of them. Will you walk with me as I learn their fates? The road is dangerous, and I do not trust myself to maintain calm as I try to resurface old grief.
Sure.
Be careful who you trust.
I got your back, Thalysra. Always. This one, I'm like, how do I get to this one? Oh, I guess I just go inside and go up the stairs. Weeping Sonya.
Hurry, Savara! The city is flooding!
Savara, my most gifted student. It was on my recommendation that she enrolled in the Royal Academy.
Man, the more I look at Thalysra and her look, the more I get motivated to go play my own Nightborn mage, so I can unlock that heritage armor, because I want her, when I say her, my mage, to look like Thalysra with that heritage armor really badly. Ever since I saw the Nightborn, I was like, oh, I want to look like that.
Do you want some magic juice? I'm full.
I didn't want to steal the pudding, but I needed the food. Have you seen Savara? You know Arcanist Savara? I just saw her. She has such pretty hair. I heard that she was trained by First Arcanist Lysra. She is super fancy. Anyway, I saw Arcanist Savara walk by just a few minutes ago. I think she is going to see the Queen. Didn't you hear? Queen Ajara is right down the street. Oh, maybe I'll get to see her if I get away from these nasty guards.
Play later.
All stats increased by 5%. Renrata? Lysra, vile witch! You were the one who convinced my sister to serve at the palace! Maybe a little to the left. Da! Fear! Even Thalysra's afraid. I actually like that. That's a nice touch. That's not just a player thing, it's also an NPC thing. That Thalysra would also get hit by fear. Never should have listened to you, Thalysra. Is the seat taken? Yes, actually. Oh, alright. Thanks. Oh, I know what that was. Oh, I've not only seen that, but I've been a part of that many. Oh, that poor guy. Oh, he was sweet on her, and he wanted to actually, like, you know, just talk to her. And they do the whole, yes, the seat's taken. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, bye. Uh-oh, I gotta be careful. That's an alliance area. I do not want to get flagged for PvP.
To challenge my magic, Thalysra. Allow me to demonstrate why you never ascended to Grand Magistrix.
Ooh.
One day at a time.
Savara. Oh, Savara. She was the finest pupil that I ever taught. I must find her and ensure that she is not locked in eternal torment like these others. Queen Ajara has her eye on us now. We must proceed with caution. I do not know what she may try, but stay close to me. Whatever this threat is, we must pass through it if we are to find Savara. Speak with me when you are ready to proceed. Escort Thalysra through the market.
Adore.
This avenue here holds so many memories, all drowned in the aftermath of Ajara's ambition. Watch your step. The Queen will be intending to test us if I read matters correctly.
We are only as strong as our will. Champion, with me! Champion, with me!
There's a moment before that happens where it actually stops me from moving.
But you should know better
Champion,
than to
with
defy
me!
your rightful queen.
Aran Arcana.
The flood has stopped for now. That is good, because my power is nearly drained. We are standing in the center of some very powerful magics, an echo of something that Ajara did long ago. If you are feeling brave enough to commune with this echo, I will stand guard as you do.
Anratha Adore.
The memory of the pact! Oh, this is the one. Okay, I was wrong. The Collector Koja one is not it. This is the one. So, if my hunch is correct, because it says the Warbringer, you guys are about to see the animation that I was referring to of Queen Azshara. This is what happened when the Sundering happened so long ago, and what happened to the Empire of the Night Elves, specifically Queen Azshara's empire. And, well, I'm sure the rest will speak for itself as you witness this.
Let go. Let go.
No! I am queen. This is the empire I built.
It is over. People.
My queen. We loved you. You betrayed us.
This is my fault.
No! 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 This was not the deal I made!
Deal. I like deal.
Who are you? Show yourself! At once!
For 1,000 years, bound beneath these waves, I have watched you. I have tasted your essence.
You?
It won't be long now. Your death is near. Only I can sustain you. Let go. Serve me.
You? You are nothing.
Nothing. I am a god. Before you walked this land, I ruled.
Magnificent.
Serve me, and we will rebuild my empire.
not a slave. You've watched me for 1,000 years, so you know what I want. Take my people. With them, I will raise an army, conquer your enemies, build an empire as queen. Or let me die, and you will remain here, a prisoner. The god of nothing.
I'll be talking about this after we're done watching this. Just so it doesn't kick me. Oh my gosh. Chills every time. I remember the first time I saw that, I just had shivers. Oh man. Ugh. There's a lot to talk about with that animation. Oh man. Where do I even start? So I said it was pretty obvious that it starts right when the Sundering is happening. She's trying to prevent her empire from going underwater. Now, what I had forgotten, and I've reminded myself in my much more learning of the lore since then, a lot of people I think missed when she said, when she's going down to water and her people are looking at her and she's starting to hear the voices of like, you failed us, you failed us, you failed. And it's like, it's starting to consume her, and she goes, this was not the deal I made. A lot of people didn't know what she was talking about. If I have this up correctly off the top of my head, because I'm not looking at it, the deal she made was actually with Sargeras, because she was going to help use the Well of Eternity to bring Sargeras to Azeroth. Which, as you guys can imagine, based on what you recall seeing at the end of Legion, Sargeras is the size of a planet, because he's a Titan. Basically, Azshara had made a deal with Sargeras to help him use the Well of Eternity to get here. Yeah. I can't recall off the top of my head what exactly she was getting out of it, but there is a lot of vanity and such when it and greed and obsession when it comes to Azshara's character. So I love how they portrayed, whether you want to pronounce it Nazoth, which is how Xalatath pronounces it, or Unzuth, or Unzoth, because that's how the Kathraki pronounce it when you do the Dragon Soul raid. You remember those bosses we fought in the Dragon Soul raid? That were in the ancient ones? The old ones? Yeah, that were around Dragonblight. And in their native tongue, they called him Unzuth. So, either way, I prefer Nazoth because that's how I heard Xalatath say it. Anyways, I love how they did Nazoth in this animation. This schemer. You notice how when she mentioned the deal, the first thing, what's the first thing he says to her? Deal? I like deals. Would you like to make a deal? I just love that that's how he is, because that's very Nazoth. He's the one who loves to plan and scheme and work in the shadows, more so than the other old gods. Yes, the other old gods were like that with the whispers and such. Yogg-Saron did that quite a bit with Loken in Ulduar, as well as the other Titan keepers and the Titan Forge in Ulduar. Yogg-Saron did that a lot, and of course Cthulhu did so with the Sithrax in Sithis. And Yasharaj, he didn't really get a chance to do that because Amanthul literally ripped him to pieces. But then again, you had the Shah, and some people speculate whether or not Yasharaj did the whispering with Garrosh, but that's a whole nother separate thing. Anyways, back to the point of Nazoth. I love how he was trying to persuade her. Like, let go, just serve me. And her being very proud, she also has a lot of pride. And she's like, you're nothing. And that's when he's like, okay, that's it. I'm taking the gloves off and showing you that I am an old god. And shows her the Black Empire. You saw that, right? The pyramid and the spires. He was basically showing her what used to be the Black Empire. And she's like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. And so he thinks, oh, I've got her now. But then and this is something that a lot of people for a long time speculated on, because the lore on the Night Elves after the Sun Ring becoming the Naga, how the Naga were made, was always kind of foggy. We didn't really know the exact details of how they became the Naga. We didn't know if it was forced on them, if it just happened. No one really knew for sure what exactly happened. This confirms what happened. He offered to save her life, to serve him, to help him rebuild his empire. And she says no. And that is something that surprised a lot of people when they watch this. And he's, how dare you say no to me? I am Nazoth. I am an old god. I ruled this world. And you dare say no to me? Then you're going to die. And I love her response, because this is so Azara. She responds to him by saying that she'll die by saying, a queen, not a slave. If I'm gonna die, at least I'll die a queen, instead of being your slave. I'm not gonna step down from being a queen. And I love how she then turns what he was saying to her about saying that he had watched her for 1,000 years beneath the waves. So she turns that on him, saying, okay, you've watched me for 1,000 years, so you know me pretty well at this point. And she offers her people to him, to have him turn them into the Naga. She offered her people. That says a lot about what kind of queen she really is, that she was willing to just hand over the lives of her people. Now, let's be fair. Let's be fair. In her defense, her people were going to die. They were going to drown if she had not offered that. But she offers it in a way as if she's like, oh yeah, you can just take my people and just turn them into whatever as an army. And then I shall be a queen and build an empire for you. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then she throws in the extra bit at the end, which was so great to show her, extra on her character. The whole... It's like, or you could just let me die, and then guess what? You'll stay here? A prisoner. Yeah, you're a god, but you're a god of nothing right now. That was so... It's so... telling and wonderful... A wonderful display of her character. If you want to know a lot about Ajara's character, that showed a lot of how her character is. Very prideful, very vain, loves just being a queen. She just loves I am a queen. That's what she adores. She's obsessed with, being a queen. It means everything to her. And so then, I like that N'Zoth doesn't do it right away. He just kind of sits there and just kind of stews over it. Just kind of like, how dare she say no to me? I'll show her. I'll just let her drown. And she was right. And I imagine he's having this argument with himself while she is just kind of like, okay, I'm running out of air here. Are you gonna accept my offer, or oh gosh, I'm starting to run low on air. Like he lets her get to the point where she almost drowns before he finally succumbs. Like, all right, and just starts turning her in a very. There was a lot of horror and jump scare elements in this animation, and of course we see the eye, and so now we know how the Naga came to be. It wasn't forced on them. Ajara made the deal. She turned down his deal, and she counter-offered him. And that's how the Naga came to be. I'm concerned that Bellistra's may... Alright, let me look at this first, Bellistra. A simple tome with a small series of runes inscribed along with the spine. It appears remarkably well maintained amongst the ruins. Upon further inspection, it appears to be a diary of one of the citizens of the city. No doubt the magic that preserves it was intended to allot for the lengthy lifetimes of the elves. The enchantments preserving this journal are intact, but fading. It appears to be the diary of a citizen of the city. You turn to a random page. Then he had the audacity to enter our summoning circle and demand that we evict his study space at once. Who willingly steps into the chaos of a summoning ritual? He is mad. We call him that now. Mad Mardivas. Of course, he was bitten on the leg by a lesser summon, and it continues. Not useful, but you surmise that there may be more such tomes. Search for additional diaries. So, Thalysra. I'm sure you are familiar with that incident, right? Or was that a revelation for you? We long suspected Ajara's choice. The question becomes, why is she showing us this? What game is she playing this time? I like that I can go back and rewatch it if I want. It wasn't enough for Ajara to break the world. She had to doom the rest of our people here as well. Those who didn't choose to become Naga were stuck in this horrifying half-death, left to haunt these drowned ruins. I'm almost afraid to find Savara. Wait, did you hear something?
We are only
But I
as strong
digress.
as our will.
You hoped to be reunited with a lost loved one.
Savara!
Allow me to grant your wish.
Oh my gosh. Well, happy reunion, yay!
Savara? No! You chose to serve Ajara?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, her health is not even moving. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to win this fight.
Savara, my subjects cannot grovel if they are dead. I will allow them one final chance to kneel before my throne.
Hold, champion. Savara is beyond our ability to confront alone. We will need reinforcements.
Hold on. Let me confirm this. No. Oh, yeah, she's the first... AKA, she will be the first raid boss that you fade in the Eternal Palace. That's what she means by Very nice. You know, I like how we have already encountered 2 raid bosses right here. We encountered this when we first got here, and we just encountered Savara. Ooh.
Well, now isn't that interesting? Apparently, we have encountered 3.
But I'm getting ahead of
The
myself.
Nightwell calls to me.
Savara could have defeated us at any time. Why are they toying with us? At any rate, champion, again, I find myself in your debt. Thank you for helping me, even if the answers that we found were more horrifying than I could have
Be
anticipated.
careful who you trust.
Poor Thalysra. She has gone through so much crap. Ugh. I get so much motivation to want to go back to my Nightborn mage and level her. She's currently stuck at like level 23 because I've just barely messed with her. But man, I get... Every time I either remind myself about what happened in Suramar and Azuna, as well as like stuff like this with Thalysra, it just motivates me to want to go back and level my Nightborn. Plus, I do find it appealing wanting to use that character to learn how to play the arcane spec for mage. If you don't know what I mean, my main mage is mainly just a fire mage. I mainly just play fire on my main mage, who is a blood elf, who I modded after Kael'thas. Yes, I know. And so I've really hardly spent that much time playing either Arcane or Frost. But I have 2 other mages that I want to learn each spec with. My Nightborn will mainly only play Arcane, and I have a human mage modeled after Jaina, who I'm going to have mainly play only Frost.
I believe we should trade with people of all races and creeds. Except the Naga. Horrible creatures.
I mean, considering that what the listener just said about how many of the Naga didn't want this fate, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot that were horrified by what Ajara did to them when she made that deal. Well, let me see what you got. He reads it very slowly. 1 hour later.
I think we may have just found the origin of snapdragons. Let's see what else we can learn. Wow, that powerful, huh? I will be sure to keep this with me then. From the looks of it, Elrina's story should have a very interesting end. This pylon here should have been acting up, but I think I know why. These things use memory cores. Little crystals are found within the center of the orb. I bet there's one in that old Magi Tower. There's a snapdragon that's bigger than the Terror Maws in there, so here. Keep the scroll for now. It should help you in your fight. She's a big one. Defeat the Snapdragon Matriarch, collect the memory core, and activate the pylon to witness the fate of Professor Elrina.
I need someone young, with a working back and a willingness to do battle with the forces of evil. Profit, of course.
Oh gosh. What does this do? Channel the scroll onto the Matriarch. Do you mind? Ugh. Fine. Yes, of course. I think Ajar will be very pleased with what you report.
Enough talking. Do you dare waste the Queen's time?
Very impressive indeed. I assume that you have kept notes on this research?
That would be correct, General. Good. Yep. I'm not surprised.
What are your hero rates and estimated funeral expenses?
So, she was betrayed by that general. Huh. He probably proceeded to take all the credit for himself. Shame. But at least now we have the knowledge. Thank you.
If you find powerful artifacts, bring them to me. And don't go trying to use them yourself.
Uh-huh. Still have those dailies up. I'm gonna go try and get that other journal and do that, and then try to make my way over here, because it's clearly a main quest, which I need to do if I'm going to clear this, because I really want to get to that scenario in the war campaign. I'm not trying to see what it is, just because I'm not trying to spoil it. So. I may just do this off camera because I don't think this seems to be a very relevant quest. So, and again, I want to try and clear this up, although it seems as if the quest would just simply help me clear up the map anyways, but who knows. Stay tuned.